The most exciting discovery in human history could also be the most devastating. Finding bacteria on Mars, strange creatures in Europa's oceans, or ancient ruins on Titan would force a terrifying conclusion. Something catastrophic awaits every civilization that reaches our level of development. The universe appears suspiciously empty, and that silence carries a warning that cuts to the heart of humanity's survival. The Milky Way contains up to 500 billion planets, with at least 10 billion Earth-like worlds, many billions of years older than our own. These staggering numbers suggest the cosmos should be teeming with advanced civilizations capable of spreading across the galaxy. Yet radio telescopes detect nothing but silence. Space probes find no artifacts. Despite decades of searching through projects like SETI at Home and Breakthrough Listen, which have scanned billions of candidate signals, no unambiguous transmissions from extraterrestrial intelligence have ever been confirmed. The mathematics of probability screams that intelligent life should be everywhere, but observation insists we are profoundly alone. This contradiction demands an explanation, and the most chilling answer involves what scientists call the Great Filter. First proposed by economist Robin Hanson in 1996, this hypothesis suggests something prevents living things from climbing the evolutionary ladder to become galaxy-spanning civilizations. Either that filter lies behind us, making humanity extraordinarily lucky survivors of nature's gauntlet, or it waits ahead, making our extinction almost certain. Life's journey from dead chemistry to galactic civilization can be imagined as a flight of stairs, each step representing an improbable evolutionary leap. The first step requires non-living matter to assemble into self-replicating patterns that are stable yet capable of change and evolution. Recent research has pushed the timeline for this transition dramatically backward. A 2024 study determined that the last universal common ancestor of all life, known as Luca, existed approximately 4.2 billion years ago, just 200 to 400 million years after Earth became habitable. This surprisingly rapid emergence of complex cellular life suggests that abiogenesis may not be the insurmountable barrier once assumed. The second critical step involves primitive cells becoming dramatically more complex and energy efficient. Here, evidence points to an event so specific it may have happened exactly once in Earth's entire history. A primitive hunter cell swallowed a smaller bacterium, but instead of digesting it, the two organisms formed an unprecedented partnership. The larger cell provided shelter and handled interactions with the environment, while the smaller one focused entirely on generating abundant energy for its host. This endosymbiotic merger created mitochondria, the powerhouses enabling every animal cell on Earth. Research confirms that mitochondria took up residence as endosymbionts approximately 1.5 billion years ago, fundamentally transforming what cells could accomplish. Without this singular accident, complex multicellular life might never have emerged anywhere in the universe. Perhaps billions of planets harbor only bacterial mats, forever unable to take this improbable leap. Beyond cellular complexity lies another precarious step: the evolution of large brains capable of tool use, culture, and shared knowledge. Intelligence might seem like an obvious evolutionary advantage, but the evidence suggests otherwise. The human brain consumes approximately 20% of the body's metabolic energy at rest, while accounting for only 2% of body mass. Evolution does not grant such expensive luxuries unless the payoff is enormous. Modern research reveals that the neocortex demands around 67% more energy per gram of tissue than basic sensoromotor networks, making advanced cognition uniquely costly among biological innovations. Large brains are also fragile organs that provide no advantage in physical confrontations with predators. They require extended childhoods and enormous parental investment. They are prone to disorders and vulnerable to environmental stress. The path from sharp sticks to civilization took modern humans roughly 200,000 years, despite possessing brains essentially identical to those of contemporary philosophers and scientists. Fossil evidence shows that anatomically modern humans existed for tens of thousands of years before developing advanced technology, cave paintings, sewing needles, and symbolic communication around 50,000 to 65,000 years ago. Being smart does not guarantee success in natural selection. Bears, diseases, famines, and environmental catastrophes care nothing for intellectual achievements. Many species with large brains have gone extinct, while organisms with far simpler neural architecture have thrived for hundreds of millions of years. Intelligence may simply represent an evolutionary experiment that rarely pays dividends, making technological civilization a cosmic anomaly rather than an inevitable outcome of evolution. If every evolutionary step leading to humanity was relatively common, then the great filter must lie ahead of us, and its implications are terrifying. A filter positioned in our future would need to be so devastating that it has destroyed virtually every advanced civilization across the galaxy over billions of years. This would explain why the cosmos appears empty despite the enormous number of potentially habitable worlds. The silence becomes not merely a puzzle, but a death sentence written across every star system. Technology itself may serve as the executioner. Any species capable of reaching beyond its home planet must first master enormous amounts of energy, which could easily be turned to destructive purposes before that species learns to survive its own power. Researchers studying existential risks have identified numerous potential filters: large-scale nuclear war, nanotechnology that escapes control, engineered pathogens, designed as superbugs, experiments that ignite the entire atmosphere, or artificial intelligence that destroys its creators either accidentally or deliberately. A 2024 expert survey found that AI researchers themselves estimate between 5 to 10% probability that artificial intelligence could cause human extinction by the end of this century. The AI safety clock, launched in 2024, stands at just 20 minutes to midnight, reflecting expert concern about technological catastrophe. Perhaps competitive species inevitably destroy themselves while fighting over limited resources, triggering runaway chain reactions in planetary ecosystems that prove unfixable once set in motion. Once a civilization becomes powerful enough to alter its atmosphere's composition, it may seal its doom with complete reliability. This dark framework explains why finding extraterrestrial life would represent catastrophic news. Every discovery of alien organisms shifts the statistical probability of the great filter from our past toward our future. Simple bacteria on Mars would be troubling. Complex, multicellular creatures would be worse. Intelligent life would be genuinely alarming. Ancient ruins of extinct civilizations would be devastating, providing direct evidence that other species climbed the same staircase we have climbed, reached technological sophistication, and then were annihilated at some step we have not yet encountered. The best possible outcome for humanity's survival is discovering a sterile universe. If Mars harbors no microbes, if Europa's oceans contain no life, if the vast spiral arms of the Milky Way embrace only empty worlds and dead continents, then the great filter likely lies behind us rather than ahead. Perhaps abiogenesis requires conditions so impossibly specific that Earth alone achieved it. Perhaps the endosymbiotic merger creating mitochondria was a 1 in a trillion accident. Perhaps intelligent brains represent such an expensive evolutionary gamble that no other species has bet successfully on cognition. An empty universe means billions of worlds waiting to be filled, billions of potential homes awaiting inhabitants who have already passed through nature's most brutal selection process. Humanity's apparent cosmic loneliness transforms from existential dread into evidence of extraordinary luck. The silence suggests our hardest challenges may already be overcome, leaving the galaxy open for colonization by life that has proven itself capable of survival against astronomical odds. As we've explored, the universe presents us with profound questions about our place within it, from the origins of life to the potential pitfalls awaiting advanced civilizations. We've journeyed through concepts like the Great Filter and pondered the rare events that shaped our own existence, all while acknowledging the fragility inherent in intelligence itself. It's a humbling perspective, reminding us of both the incredible resilience of life and the uncertainties that lie ahead. Thank you for joining us on this thought-provoking exploration. If you enjoyed this glimpse into complex ideas, please leave a like and share your thoughts. Perhaps you have your own fascinating insights or unconventional discoveries to add.